So okay, we're good. We're rolling. So first of all, I want to welcome my boys, Christian Moore, my boy Mark Merrill, all the way from Utah, coming in from the Y Try organization. What's up, brothers? How y'all doing, man? I got a little watch this. Yeah, come on. All right. We got bells and whistles and all that. Well, first of all, these are our OSG brothers, all the way from the
Rockies.
The Rockies. Well, you're not from the Rockies originally, Chris, but yeah, from the Rockies. These are boys. They bleed OSG blue, and Mark, he's always there. Chris is always there, and they represent a great organization. The Y Try organization is really about empowering kids, taking care of the babies. Same thing. We're sort of parallel with what OSG is doing. And you guys have been around for a minute. How long has Y Try been around?
Yeah, about 25 years now.
Wow, 25 years. It's a great organization. And how many students do you think you impact?
So we estimate we've now reached over 3 million students.
Bring that mic closer to just
about 3 million students.
So you're unidirectional, yeah.
Yeah, 3. And we're in about 30,000 schools across the country in all 50 states.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man. And Mark, what do you do with Y Try?
I get to oversee all the implementations in the Northeast.
Yeah.
Working with people from anywhere from principals to district level.
Yeah.
And I kind of just stumbled on Akbar, seeing him on Ellen, and it's just gone from there. But
Akbar is the flag bearer, is no joke. And by the way, tomorrow we got the big game. So you guys are around for the big game tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
On Thursday.
I was just talking to one of the players and said I just flew here, 2,000 miles last night so I could see him. So he may be a little nervous.
It's going to be tough. Going into Newark is going to be tough, but I'm quite sure Travis got his boys ready to get it popping.
Travis went on Instagram Live, I don't know, month and a half ago. And I'm sitting there watching. I was working. I had my phone up. I'm watching his game.
Yeah.
And he says we're going to be playing against Westside.
Right.
And I says, well, when? And I'm keeping 100 here, right, Travis? I
You're
asked
right.
you, when are you playing? He says February 17th. I says, okay, we're coming. So I designed this whole trip around coming to this game. So
speaking of Travis, he gave us he graced us with his presence for a couple of minutes because I want to talk to him about the room that we're in that we built.
Yes.
Right now Travis is running. He's a working principal. He's running Pharos Academy right now. So Trav, how has the experience been since we completed the broadcast room and the OSG Media Center upstairs?
Wow. I think when you think about public education and creating spaces that kids love and really care about, I think it's 10 out of 10 in terms of the response, the impact that it has done for students. Students walking by, students coming in saying, I want to be part of that. I want to do a podcast. Everyone's excited about it, from 5th graders all the way up to 12th graders. So when we talk about, an education around making it relevant for young people, but also preparing students for the future of work and what the future economy and future jobs would look like, a studio like this, a recording studio, podcast studio, checks a lot of those boxes for kids.
Wow. The funny thing is, Travis, not only does he have the studio, but you guys took a little tour through the building. He's got a lot going on in these buildings. Yeah.
Ladies, I visit lots of schools. I've literally gone millions of miles visiting schools, and we're just walking through the hallways here a few minutes ago, and I had to point out to Travis, I'm a school climate expert, and I told him this, probably in the top 2 school climates I've seen because of a couple things. Just the visual. I'm an artist. It's my background. Like you ladies,
Right.
I'm an artist.
It's about the art. Yeah.
It's all about the art. And what he has done in this school, I'll be really frank with you. When we pulled up, drove by, I'm like, I've been to a lot of schools. Okay, I can, in my head, because I've been in 1,000 schools, I could kind of visualize what I was about to walk into. And when I walked in here, I kept turning to him and to Dennis going, okay, I was not expecting this. But what's amazing, we teach something in Y Try called surrendering the one-up relationship. Oftentimes if students feel one down in the relationship, you're going to see a lot of acting out, a lot of anger. And I think what Travis has done in this school is he's created an environment where children do not feel one down, where they feel very valued, and he's created a powerful, safe space. I just had the opportunity to speak to a few students a few minutes ago in the gym, and you could tell they were calm as could be, relaxed. When I visit schools and I interact with kids, pretty quick I can see how they're doing, and we can have the greatest academics, but if that environment isn't a safe place and isn't a place, has to be a place where, again, they feel one up, not one down in that relationship. And
there is a level
what
of
he's done is
relaxed
amazing.
confidence with the
Yeah.
kids in the school that I've noticed that I don't see in a lot of different schools.
Well, I think part of that is it's authentic.
Yeah.
It isn't a gimmick. It isn't a life hack or a school hack. This is all authentic, and it's all about the kids, but it's all about the staff. I mean, everybody here, you see, there's intentional design around everybody that walks through this door.
Right. Well, there is a sense of purpose and energy, and I think that comes from the leader. I think the leader. I think
There's the bell.
The bell's on time. The leader. I think it all emulates from the leader. If you have a great leader, I think people have something to emulate, and the kids can look to it. I find that in some instances, yes, the neighborhoods maybe, because this is not a. We are definitely not in Oz right here in this neighborhood.
No.
This is a tough neighborhood that we're in. So this is a little bit of an oasis in the neighborhood. Hey, Travis, how much does the neighborhood affect what's happening in the school?
It's a tough question because
Yeah, I know.
the reason why is because we definitely get the remnants of what goes on in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And I think what we try to do and what the gentleman you speak of is that when you walk through the door, the game changes.
Right.
Because no matter what happens outside the doors, we want to teach our young people you still have a job to do. Whatever your reality is outside the doors in 4 years, you could change the whole reality. So I think when kids come into school, they start to understand that this is a family,
Right.
that we're in it together, and that, yes, all that stuff is happening out there, but put all that in a visible box and spend time, the 8 hours you have here during the day, the time you spend here at night, the time you spend on the weekends, improving yourself so you can improve whatever situation that you need to improve outside. Or if you want to leave something, leave a situation, find something new, you can create yourself or recreate yourself here.
There is a big difference in coming into Ferris Academy. You're going to find that out. I don't know how many schools you've been in yet, but coming into Ferris Academy is a more welcoming existence. You're walking in here, you feel as if you belong here. You don't feel the barriers that you feel in some schools. When you walk into schools, there's almost like a barrier, almost like we don't really want you here. Barrier.
Amen. I think another thing that Travis has done just touring the school is he's created not only a safe environment for the students, but we know the students are interacting with the teachers. And I just went into the most incredible teachers' lounge where they had private spaces they could work and think and stuff. And so to me, it meant a lot to see the teachers prioritize, because we know in this country right now, we're seeing far too many teachers that are just,
Hey, listen, this is a great place to work. If Travis could afford me, I'd never leave.
I know. I've already hit him up for a job. I already hit him up for a job. I want to see if we can move the White House.
Yeah.
Now, the big bucks.
Now I am going to bring. Hey, when we come to New York, I do want to bring the Resilience Breakthrough podcast here. So when we're doing the podcast, we want to come pop in here.
Have you ever seen anything like this, Kristen, in any of your other schools?
No, and I'm a podcaster, and this is most amazing. And, it's interesting. I always, in almost every speech I give, I share. This current generation is spending 8 to 12 hours a day engaged in media. So it's bringing great academics, what Travis is already doing, and then in combination with a room like this is what kids are interested in. It's funny. Right now while I'm talking, kids are looking in here, smiling at me, giving me the thumbs up, because they know, again, 8 to 12 hours a day, and we have to make education relevant to this current generation. The big 3 R's we scream about again is that relationship. We want to make sure we surrender that one-up relationship. Mm-hmm. We want to make sure what we're doing is relevant to this current generation. I think if you had to just sum up what's really effective about him in a short amount of time, what Travis is doing here, is it's relevant to these kids. So this room represents relevancy. Until we bring relevance, we're not going to reach as many of these kids. I want to commend him what he's done from a relevancy standpoint. And then that third R is resilience. I think this room will help create resilience. It will create hope for kids. They'll see the real potential.
A lot of options here, but one thing about when you talk about relevance, we us born in the hip hop generation, me being a pioneer, you being connected to the hip hop world, and Travis growing up in that generation, and this is 35, 40 years of this kind of thing. We know what's dope. We know that. So I walked into other schools where they were trying to do this, and it was whack equipment. It wasn't the right stuff. It was
I've seen
second
that a lot, too.
crappy. It was a bad, it was just a bad copy of what it is. But we know, like, all right, we wear Timbs. We know what Timbs are. We're not gonna wear Jims. We're gonna wear Timbs. We know what Nikes are. We're not gonna wear Ikes. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna go out there. Even if we didn't got the money, we're gonna save up to get it right. So when you come into this kind of room, you're gonna get the right stuff. You're gonna walk into Sirius Satellite. You're gonna walk into Hot 97, and you're gonna see the exact same equipment that we have here. So that's the whole point. The point is we compete. If you give your kids the opportunity to compete on a real level, then that's what they're going to do. They're going to look at it like
What
that.
I love is we're here in the Bronx. We're here in New York. We know New York is one of the, if not the biggest media center outside LA, in the United States. And so I feel, again, that's a huge relevant thing in this community, in this city. And so I'm excited to see that. I think it's so important. And I'll tell you what, ladies, I wish we had more time for you to tell just a minute ago, you just said, hey, I was a part of hip hop. You're a huge part of hip hop.
Oh, you are, man. And so, let me give you your props, man. Cause respect to you on that too, for real.
No, what I want to say to you though, ladies, is what's amazing about what you've done is you've taken your life experience, which has had a huge influence on kids all across this country, and you being in education and taking your skill set to make education better for kids. I want to thank you big time for doing that. And,
Salute.
And by the way, Lays is the first time I came onto OSG. They're looking at me like I'm crazy. Like, who is this guy? And I'm talking to him for the first time. I'm trying to let people in OSG know this is who I am. And Lays jumped in and goes, that dude's the real deal. And believed in me in the beginning. So I'll never forget the people who believed in me when I first started doing something.
Shout out to hip hop, shout out to Baltimore, shout out to DMV, the whole crew down there. You know what it is. Christian, he don't want to get into his life story, but I'm telling you, man, he for the streets, man. We got to don't sleep on him, for real.
Yeah. All right, my brother. All right.
Listen, now let's wrap it up, man. I want to thank everybody for coming in. Thank you, Principal Brown, again, for allowing us the space to be creative. And this is the way you treat your people when they come to New York City. This is my Y Tribe people. I want to thank Mark Merrill, and I want to thank my man Christian Small and the whole Y Tribe organization for doing what y'all do. And we're going to continue to connect. We're going to continue to share. We're going to continue to build. This is the Farris Academy podcast. This is your boy Uncle Lays and the world famous MOP and the OSG First Family. Salute to y'all. We'll see y'all again later.
See ya.
And that's how it's done, man.
Wow, that had good energy.